The night was unusually quiet. The soft hum of the city had faded into an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant sound of a spaceship gliding silently above the clouds. Alex had been alone in his small apartment for hours, staring at the scattered pieces of his unfinished research on interstellar energy. The experiments he had been conducting for months were finally reaching a critical point, and yet, tonight, he felt a strange unease that he could not explain. He had always known that the universe was far larger and stranger than most humans imagined. There were civilizations beyond comprehension, planets where life thrived under conditions unimaginable on Earth, and energies that defied human understanding. But he had never expected that one day something or someone would appear at his doorstep to test him in ways he had never prepared for. As the clock struck midnight, a faint shimmer appeared near the window. At first he thought it was a trick of his tired eyes, a reflection from one of the scattered screens on his desk. But then the shimmer grew brighter, taking shape like a figure. Alex blinked, trying to clear his vision, but the figure did not vanish. It was a woman, or at least humanoid in form, but there was something different about her. Her skin seemed to glow faintly, reflecting the dim light of the apartment in a way that made her appear almost ethereal. She did not wear any clothing that Alex could recognize, yet she exuded an aura of elegance and authority rather than vulnerability. Her hair floated around her as if underwater, and her eyes sparkled with intelligence and amusement. "Do not be afraid," she said, her voice calm but commanding. "I am here to speak with you. You have been expecting this whether you know it or not." Alex felt his heart race. He had studied alien communication for years, but nothing had prepared him for a being who could speak his language perfectly, yet seemed not entirely human. Who are you?" he asked, struggling to find his voice. "I am called Solara," she replied. "I come from a distant world, beyond the regions your kind has charted. My people have been observing humanity for centuries. You, Alex, have shown potential unlike any other human. That is why I am here." Alex's mind raced. Potential? Him? He had spent his life buried in calculations, theories, and experiments that few others understood. And yet here was someone or something telling him that he was exceptional. He had always believed in the capabilities of humanity, in the hidden strength and creativity that could make humans a force in the galaxy. But he had never imagined that anyone outside of Earth might notice. "Why me?" he asked, his voice steadier now. "I'm just a scientist. I've never even left my planet." Solara smiled, and there was a warmth in her expression that seemed almost human. "Your mind is rare. Your curiosity, your determination, and your willingness to question limits. These are the qualities we look for. Humanity has potential to become something great, but only if guided carefully. That is where you come in." Alex shook his head, trying to process what she was saying. "Guided by me?" "Not just you," Solara said, "but you will play a critical role. My people wish to extend an offer, an opportunity to learn and grow. You have been chosen to witness and understand technologies and ideas far beyond what your planet currently knows. This is not a request, it is a responsibility." Alex's mind felt like it was spinning. He had spent years dreaming about extraterrestrial life, about the possibility that humans were not alone. But now that it had happened, he felt unprepared. Yet beneath the fear, there was excitement. He had always wanted to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Perhaps this was his chance. What would I have to do?" he asked cautiously. Solara's smile widened, though her eyes remained serious. "First, you must come with me. There is a place where your understanding of the universe can grow. You will see things you cannot even imagine. You will meet beings unlike anything you have known, and you will learn to think in ways your species has not yet learned. All of this requires courage, adaptability, and an open mind." Alex hesitated. The rational part of his mind screamed that he was being reckless. A stranger, an alien, was asking him to leave everything he knew behind. And yet, a part of him burned with the desire to see more, to understand more, to become more. He had spent his life dreaming of the stars. Now the stars were offering him a hand. Taking a deep breath, he nodded. "Okay, I'll go with you." Solara extended her hand. The moment Alex touched it, a wave of energy coursed through him. His body felt weightless, as if gravity itself had been turned off. The room around him blurred and stretched, and a sensation of moving through both space and time overwhelmed his senses. It was like flying through a tunnel of shimmering light, each second stretching into eternity and then collapsing back into a moment. When the sensation ended, Alex found himself standing in a vast chamber that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The walls glowed with a soft, pulsating light, and enormous crystalline structures floated in midair. Strange symbols moved along the surfaces of the walls, rearranging themselves as if alive. The air was filled with a soft hum, a vibration that resonated deep within his chest. "This is one of our learning halls," Solara explained. "Here, knowledge is not just taught, it is experienced. You will see history, energy, life itself in ways your human senses were never designed to perceive." Alex could barely contain his awe. He had read about advanced alien civilizations, about their ability to manipulate energy and matter, but nothing had prepared him for this. Every instinct in his body told him to be cautious, yet every thought was consumed with curiosity. "Will I be safe?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. "Safe enough," Solara said, her tone firm but reassuring. "Danger exists everywhere, Alex, even on your home planet. The difference here is that you will be guided. You will learn how to navigate challenges, how to understand forces that your kind has only begun to imagine." She gestured to one of the floating crystalline structures. "Come witness your first lesson." As Alex approached, the crystal shifted, projecting a three-dimensional vision into the air. He saw distant galaxies, worlds teeming with life, and civilizations engaged in activities beyond human comprehension. Entire planets were shown in their ecosystems, some thriving under suns with multiple stars, others orbiting cold, distant dwarf stars. The vision moved quickly, yet Alex absorbed every detail. "This is just the beginning," Solara said. "You will learn to understand energy, to manipulate matter, and to interact with beings whose forms and senses are nothing like yours. Your species has potential, but it will only flourish if guided by knowledge and courage." Alex felt a surge of determination. He had spent years studying, questioning, and exploring the limits of human knowledge. Now the universe was offering him a chance to step beyond those limits. He realized that the excitement he felt was not just for himself, it was for humanity. If he could learn, understand, and bring back knowledge, he could help humanity take its first steps into a greater cosmic future. Solara watched him closely. "Remember, Alex, curiosity must be tempered with caution. You will face challenges. Some will test your mind, others your courage. But in every test you will grow. Humanity's story is only beginning, and you will play a key part in its next chapter." Alex nodded, feeling both fear and exhilaration. The responsibility was immense, but the opportunity was greater. He was no longer just a scientist on a quiet planet. He was a student of the cosmos, chosen to witness and understand the vastness of existence. As the night deepened, Alex's thoughts raced. Questions poured through his mind. How would humanity react if they knew what he had seen? Could he survive the challenges ahead? And most importantly, could he truly rise to the expectations Solara had set for him? Solara seemed to read his thoughts. "Do not worry about the future yet. One step at a time, one lesson at a time. You will be ready when the moment comes." For the first time in his life, Alex felt a sense of purpose that went beyond anything he had ever imagined. He had always believed in humanity's potential, but now he was seeing it reflected through the eyes of another civilization, one that had been watching, waiting, and finally extending an invitation. The night stretched on, and the learning hall shimmered around him. Alex knew that whatever challenges awaited, he had taken the first step into a larger universe. And in that moment, he understood something fundamental: the human spirit, with all its curiosity, courage, and creativity, was capable of reaching beyond the stars. Solara's presence remained steady beside him, a silent reminder of the responsibility and opportunity that lay ahead. Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to embrace the unknown. The journey had only begun. Alex's first night in the alien learning hall had been filled with awe and questions, but when he woke the next day, he realized that the real journey was just beginning. Solara led him through corridors that seemed to shift and change as they moved. Like the structure itself was alive. Every step echoed softly, but the sound was oddly comforting, as if the building recognized him and welcomed him. "This way," Solara said, her voice calm but firm. "You must begin understanding how energy and matter interact on a cosmic scale. You will start with observation, then proceed to small interactions. Do not worry. Mistakes are part of learning." Alex nodded, though his mind was still spinning from everything he had seen the night before. He had witnessed entire galaxies in crystal projections, civilizations moving with precision and purpose, and technologies that seemed to bend the laws of nature. And now he was expected to participate, They entered a circular chamber, the floor glowing faintly beneath their feet. Strange symbols hovered in the air, forming patterns that seemed almost alive. Solara gestured to a floating sphere at the center of the room. "This is an energy construct," she explained. "It responds to thought and intention. You will attempt to influence it. Do not overthink, let your mind guide your actions." Alex approached cautiously. He had worked with advanced simulations before, but this was different. The sphere pulsed gently as he extended a hand. He concentrated, imagining the flow of energy moving from his mind into the construct. Slowly the sphere responded, shifting colors and expanding slightly. A thrill ran through him. "Good," Solara said. "Now focus on precision. Shape the energy without forcing it. Let it respond naturally." He took a deep breath and tried again. This time, the sphere moved exactly as he intended, forming a small, delicate spiral in midair. Alex's excitement grew. He had not expected such immediate progress, yet it was clear that the potential of the human mind, when guided correctly, was extraordinary. "You learn quickly," Solara observed. "Your species has not yet realized the true capacity of thought, but there is courage, creativity, and persistence that set you apart. That is why you were chosen." For hours, Alex practiced moving the energy constructs, experimenting with shape, movement, and form. Every success built confidence, and every failure taught patience. Solara guided him carefully, correcting mistakes with a quiet firmness but never discouraging him. By the time he paused to rest, Alex felt exhausted but exhilarated. He had learned more in a single day than he ever could have imagined, yet he knew this was only the beginning. Solara led him to another chamber, one larger and darker than the last. Stars and planets were projected around them in three-dimensional space, spinning and moving with incredible precision. Alex felt like he had been transported to the heart of a galaxy. "This is the observatory," Solara explained. "Here you will see civilizations in motion. Watch closely and take note. Learn from them. Humanity's future depends on understanding what is possible," Alex observed quietly. On one planet, beings moved with synchronized precision, their cities arranged in perfect harmony with the environment. On another, creatures adapted to extreme conditions, thriving in ways humans would never have imagined. He could see the balance between technology and nature, strategy and survival, creativity and caution. "These civilizations are advanced, but they are not flawless," Solara said. "They face challenges you may encounter as well. Observation teaches patience and understanding, both of which are essential." Hours passed, but to Alex it felt like minutes. He was captivated, absorbing every detail, every strategy, every adaptation. For the first time, he realized that the human species, with all its flaws and imperfections, also possessed a unique advantage: ingenuity. Even creatures in these advanced civilizations followed patterns, but humans could innovate unpredictably, think beyond established rules, and adapt in ways no other species had yet mastered. Solara's voice pulled him from his thoughts. "It is time for the next lesson." They entered a new chamber, smaller but filled with intricate devices and controls. Alex could sense that this room was a test of both intellect and intuition. "You will navigate a simulation," Solara explained. "It replicates a hostile environment. Your task is to survive, adapt, and achieve objectives without external assistance." The simulation began. Alex found himself on a barren planet, its surface jagged and hostile. Strange storms swept across the horizon and alien creatures lurked in the distance. The air felt thick, almost oppressive, and every instinct told him to proceed carefully. At first he struggled. The environment was unpredictable. The creatures were unlike anything he had seen, and the tools available seemed insufficient. But he reminded himself of what Solara had said: courage, creativity, persistence. Slowly he began to adapt. He observed the patterns of the storms, anticipated the creatures' movements, and used the tools in unexpected ways. Hours passed within the simulation, though time felt different. Alex faced failures, near captures, and dangerous situations, but he also discovered solutions no algorithm could have predicted. He realized that humans, though physically weaker than many alien species, possessed something far more valuable: ingenuity. When the simulation ended, Solara regarded him with quiet approval. "You succeeded because you did not rely on strength or predictability. You relied on your mind. That is the essence of humanity's potential. It is not just about survival. It is about creativity. adaptation, and the courage to act where others hesitate. Alex felt a mixture of pride and relief. He had faced challenges unlike any on Earth, yet he had emerged successful. More importantly, he began to understand the greater purpose of his journey. Humanity had potential to reach beyond the stars, to survive and thrive in ways that no other species might anticipate. Over the next several days, Alex continued his training, each lesson more complex and demanding than the last. He learned to manipulate energy on a larger scale, to communicate with alien intelligences, and to solve problems that required both logic and intuition. Every challenge strengthened him, but also reinforced the unique qualities that humans possessed: imagination, courage, and a willingness to defy limits. One day, as Alex rested in a chamber overlooking a projection of distant galaxies, Solara approached him. "It is time for your final trial," she said. "You have learned much, but knowledge is only one part of what you must demonstrate. The trial will test your judgment, your courage, and your ability to represent humanity among other civilizations." Alex's heart raced. He had come far, but the stakes of this trial were higher than anything he had faced. "What do I have to do?" he asked. "You will enter a controlled environment where you will encounter beings with different intentions. Some will be hostile, others neutral, and some may attempt to deceive you. Your task is to navigate the situation, make decisions, and achieve the objectives without causing unnecessary harm. Remember, your actions reflect humanity." The trial began. Alex found himself in a bustling alien city, surrounded by beings of every shape, size, and color. Some watched him carefully, others ignored him, and a few approached with curiosity. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. Every decision mattered, every reaction was observed. At first, the challenge seemed overwhelming. Messages were sent in forms he had never encountered. Behaviors were unpredictable, and the environment itself seemed designed to confuse him. But Alex remembered Solara's lessons. He observed carefully, used logic and intuition together, and trusted his instincts. He encountered a hostile group attempting to block his path. Instead of confronting them directly, he analyzed their behavior and discovered a pattern. Using that knowledge, he navigated through without conflict, earning cautious respect from the group. Next, a neutral faction presented a puzzle requiring creativity and collaboration. Alex combined his understanding of energy manipulation with communication skills to solve it, impressing the observers. Each success reinforced his belief in humanity's potential to thrive in unexpected ways. Finally, he faced beings attempting to deceive him with illusions and misinformation. He relied on careful observation, questioning assumptions, and applying principles he had learned. Slowly, he unraveled the deception and completed the trial. Solara appeared beside him as the environment faded. "You have succeeded, Alex," she said. "Not because you are the strongest or the fastest, but because you demonstrated qualities unique to your species. Ingenuity, courage, persistence, and a willingness to think beyond limits. Humanity has potential, and you have proven it can rise to challenges beyond what most imagine." Alex felt a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. The lessons, the trials, the endless hours of practice, all had led to this moment. But more than personal achievement, he understood the greater responsibility. Humanity was at a turning point. The universe was vast, full of dangers and opportunities, and the survival and advancement of his species depended on courage, creativity, and knowledge. "You are ready," Solara said, her tone calm but filled with significance. "The next step is to return to your world, to share knowledge, and to help humanity take its first steps toward a larger future. But remember, this is only the beginning. The universe will continue to test your species. You must rise to every challenge and guide your people with wisdom."